Okay, do you think that those top tier guys are going for women in your age category or younger women?
So yeah, the odds on of me having a baby. No, it's not good, is it?
Today was the first day ever I wanted somebody to lie to me.
I can easily date men in my 20s if I want to. Just for fun, you know, I can have a hot guy in his 20s. No problem.
Do you think that as a woman ages, dating becomes easier or harder for her?
Harder. Harder but easier because we know what we like versus what we don't like.
So you have even higher standards as you age,
Absolutely.
but you're also going for the top tier guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, do you think that those top tier guys are going for women in your age category or younger women?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It depends how old they are, but I feel like men go through a stage where they date younger and they realize that was a terrible decision because it's like, I wouldn't want to date my younger self. But like
True.
me now, I think I'm a pretty stand-up individual.
So why do you think that as a woman ages, dating becomes harder for her?
We get pickier and we realize our worth and how much we have to put up with and what birthing a child actually is when we hear about all of our friends that have children. It's a lot of work, and it's just like, I think we also find ourselves. Like, once you find yourself and you really become comfortable with just being by yourself and being, I'm an independent woman, then it doesn't matter.
It was interesting to see how they became lost for words after the guy asked if men prefer younger women. She tried to say men get annoyed with younger women because they realise it was a terrible decision. I'm not so sure about that, but she did use herself as an example for when she was younger. So if she's telling everybody she was insufferable when she was younger, nobody is going to argue against that.
Well, can't argue that.
Oh my god, you won't believe what I was reading yesterday. It made me feel like really like deflated. I know how hard it is to get pregnant anyway after 40, but it's saying like if you get pregnant after 40, there's basically a 25% chance that you could like end up having a miscarriage. How bad is that? So yeah, the odds on of me having a baby. No, it's not good, is it? Not good at all. So whatever's going to be was going to be, innit? And I knew that right in the beginning.
Feminism did not tell her that getting pregnant over 40 was going to be almost impossible. Don't worry though, you are a strong independent woman, you are beautiful, and you will have a baby someday. Don't lose hope. At least that's what other women will tell her.
Poor, deluded females.
Today was the first day ever I wanted somebody to lie to me. And I don't like liars. I'm at the gas station, right? And I get out of the car and this fellow comes up. He sticks his card into the machine and he started pumping my gas. He said, I got you. I was like, ooh. I said, okay. He started making small talk, asking me my name. Then he asked me what I was wearing because he said I smelled delicious. I said, ooh, not delicious. He was just saying all the right little things. I was like, okay. He said, if I give you my number, will you use it? Something told me to ask him. I was like, how old are you? He said, 27. I said, 27? I said, I'm old enough to be your mom. He was like, what? Yeah, but my mom don't look like you. I said, you sure you're 27? You're not 37? And even though 37 is still young, I just didn't want him to be 27. I said, you sure you're 27? Because I wanted him to lie.
Lie to me, lie to me, lie to me.
Sorry, but you have already hit the wall. Women always want men to tell the truth, so there you have it.
It's what you've always wanted.
This is what I think the problem is, dating men in their 50s. And I speak from experience because I have dated quite a few men in their 50s. I think successful men in their 50s expect women of an equivalent age to treat them as they did in their 20s. By this I mean women in their 20s tend to look up to men as someone that are going to rescue them, their hero, someone that they want to be financially stable, to support them. I think a lot of women in their 20s in my generation would have kowtowed and looked up to a man as someone who is going to be their leader and guide. Whereas once you've been married and divorced and started dating again in your late 40s and 50s, you don't need that guidance. You are already in a place of self-respect, and you are strong, and you are self-assured and stable and responsible. You don't need to be looking for any of that outside of yourself. And I think a lot of men feel really disappointed when women don't behave that way towards them. The thing is, women don't need anything from a man in their 50s. You're only spending time together out of mutual reciprocation. You just want to have a nice time. So men need to be really thinking about being appealing to a woman in her 50s. He's got to show up and show her a good time. He's got to take her out for dinner. You know, we've got to be planning weekends away, holidays. It's like a woman isn't looking for anything other than that. I would say most generally a woman in her 50s doesn't really want to look after a man like she might have done during her marriage. Some do. I'm not discounting everyone. Some people do want that. But I think in our generation, the women that have maintained their careers and they've looked after themselves, they probably don't want to be looking up to a man and chasing a man. Do you know what I mean? Besides, respect is earned, not demanded. And just generally, I think men go about dating in the way that they would have done in their 20s. And we're completely different people. We have different needs, wants and desires. I think a man needs to be looking at a woman as his equal. He doesn't need to be thinking that he's the prize. Like, a woman can date a man much younger, especially if she's looked after herself. I can easily date men in my 20s if I want to, just for fun. I can have a hot guy in his 20s. No problem. I don't need to, that's the thing, I don't need to have a man to settle down with, so I can pick and choose. And I think men think women are desperate for stability, but career women in their later life, they don't need that stability from a man. So you're going to have to offer something else, something better. What is it? Oh, I haven't even mentioned the baggage.
It seems like to me, this woman does not appreciate men for anything any longer. She's a strong, independent woman and believes there is nothing to admire about men. She does not speak for all women her age. I'm sure there are plenty of 50-year-old women who are submissive, feminine, and still want men to lead. The only men who are in their 20s who would date her are those who want to smash and dash. It comes across like she has completely given up on trying to find commitment and just wants somebody to spend time with.
You can force me to spend time with her again?